And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Olive, Nina, and Esme. Olive, Nina, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. "Sweep the floors, wash the dishes," said Olive, Nina, and Esme. One day, the king of Onlyville's messenger said, hear ye, the king of Onlyville is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Singling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Olive said, he's going to marry me. Nina said, no way, Olive. He's going to marry me. Esme said, both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Singling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what is wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I wanted her to go to the ball and marry Prince Singling, but I'm not welcome. The fairy godmother waved her wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! And then, Cinderella's chores are all done. But the fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has one pumpkin. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! Again, and to turn Cinderella's do-rag and clothes into a gown. I've never seen such a wonderful gown. I get a load of my glass slippers, and then the pumpkin into a carriage drawn by 2 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, have fun, Cinderella, but I will warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Singling was wondering who he should marry. Olive, Nina, and Esme said all together, he's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Singling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Singling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Onlyville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where her Cinderella and her stepsisters lived. He said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try this glass slipper? Olive is first, but her foot is too big. Nina is next, but her foot is too small. Esme is last, but her foot didn't fit either. Suddenly, Prince Singling noticed Cinderella singing. Winterella said. Prince Singling, is that you? Prince Singling said, of course it's me. Winterella gets so excited because she's having to have her Prince Singling back. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story before bed enters doors. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to my video. Take care. Bye and good night, everybody. Andrew's Doers. Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Tina, Winona, and Una. Tina, Winona, and Una made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Tina, Winona, and Una all together. One day, the king of Doubleburg's messenger said, Hear ye, the king of Doubleburg, his majesty, is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and cross shall marry his son, Prince Twinning. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsister, Tina said, he's going to marry me. Winona said, no way, Tina, he's going to marry me. Una said, both of you are wrong, he's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is very sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Twinning. And her fairy godmother asks Cinderella what's wrong by saying, why are you crying, Cinderella? Cinderella responds, and sadly, I wanted to go to the ball and marry Prince Twinning. Her fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of double magic. She waves her magic wand and chants the magic words, dibbly dabbly doubly do. And all of Cinderella's chores are done, but the fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, fetch me a pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has 2 pumpkins. The fairy godmother waves her magic wand and chants the magic words, dibbly dabbly doubly do. Again, turning the 2 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 2 strong horses, and then Cinderella's clothes into a gown and crown. I have never seen such a double-tasted gown. And get a lot of my glass slippers. Cinderella is now ready for the ball. Her fairy godmother said, have fun, Cinderella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Twinning was wondering who he should marry. Cinderella, of course. Tina, Winona, and Una shout out together, he's walking towards me! But he's not. But he is walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Twinning danced happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight, so she screamed out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. Prince Twinning was so worried, afraid that she might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled all around Doubleburg to find her, and brought the 2 glass slippers with him. He knocked on the door where Cinderella, Tina, Winona, and Una lived. But instead of Cinderella, he found Tina, Winona, and Una. Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on these 2 glass slippers? Prince Twinning asks. Tina is first, but her feet are too big. Winona is next, but her feet are too small. Una is last, but her feet are on the right size of her. Suddenly, Prince Twinning noticed Tuarella's sweet singing. Tuarella shouts excited, "Prince Twinning, is that you?" Prince Twinning responded, "Of course it's me. You are from my father's ball. I love you. Will you marry me?" Tuarella gets so excited because he's happy to have Prince Twinning back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and buy our merchandise. Take care. Bye. Oh, yeah. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 5 ugly, mean stepsisters named Tasha, Hannah, Rena, and the twins Ellie and Emmy. Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ellie, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. "Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all," said Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ellie, and Emmy all together. One day, the king of Tripleville's messenger said, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Tripleville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Stripling." But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are... Tasha said, "He's going to marry me." Hannah said, "No way, Tasha! He's going to marry me." Rena said, "Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me." Ellie said, "All 3 of you are wrong. He's going to marry me." Emmy said, "Are you kidding, sister? He's going to marry me." Later, Cinderella is so sad because she cannot go to the ball. Suddenly, Cinderella's fairy godmother asks what's wrong. "Why are you crying, Cinderella?" she asks. Cinderella responds, "I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Tripling." The fairy godmother said, "I can help with a bit of magic." She waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, "Triply, trappily, troubly, true." And then Cinderella's chores are all done, but the fairy godmother said she's not done. He then said, "Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin." Luckily, Cinderella has 3 pumpkins. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, "Triply, trappily, troubly, true." And then the 3 pumpkins turned into a handsome coach drawn by 6 strong horses. And then Cinderella's do-rag and red dress turned into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, "I've never seen such a triple-tastic crown and gown. And get a load of my glass slippers." The fairy godmother said, "Have fun, Cinderella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken." Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Tripling was wondering who he should marry. Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ellie, and Emmy say all together, "He's walking towards me." But he's not walking towards any of them. But he's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Tripling dance together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she's running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Tripling was so worried. He afraid that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Triplefell to find her and brought the tiny glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where Cinderella and her ugly, mean stepsisters lived. Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can you try on this glass slipper? Tasha first. Hannah second. Rena third, and the twins last, but none of their feet fit. Suddenly, Prince Tripling noticed Cinderella singing. She exclaimed, "Prince Tripling, is that you?" Prince Tripling said, "Of course it's me." Cinderella gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Tripling back. And he doesn't need to put on the glass slipper back on Cinderella's foot because it's so uncomfortable. And they both live happily ever after. The end. And now, Anna Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 5 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha. Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha all together. Then one day, the king of Autonahan's messenger arrives and says, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Autonahan is going to throw a ball, and will have the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Autobling." But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. They then argue over who will Prince Autobling marry. Later, Cinderella is so sad that she can't go to the ball and marry Prince Autobling while doing chores. Suddenly, her fairy godmother asks Cinderella what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, Cinderella?" Cinderella responds, "I got lots of chores to do, but I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Autobling." Cinderella's fairy godmother said, "I can help with a bit of magic," and waved her magic wand. Because of that, Cinderella's chores are all done, but her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, "Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin." Luckily, Cinderella has a pumpkin. Cinderella's fairy godmother waved her magic wand again to turn the 8 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 16 strong horses, and then Cinderella's rich clothes into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, "I've never seen such a terrific gown. Get a load of my glass slippers." Her fairy godmother said, "Have fun, Cinderella, but I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken and everything will change back to the way it was before." Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Autobling was wondering who he should marry. Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha say all together, "He's walking towards me." but he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Othello danced happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. Prince Othello was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled all around Othello had to find her and brought the 2 glass slippers with him. By the time he arrives, he knocks on the door of the house where Cinderella, Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha lived. But instead of Cinderella, he finds Eliza, Isabella, Georgia, Hannah, and Tasha. He then says, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can you try on these glass slippers?" Eliza is first, but her foot is too big. Isabella is next, but her foot is too small. The rest did the same, but none of their feet were the right size. Suddenly, Prince Othello notices Cinderella's sweet saying, "The glass slippers fit!" And Cinderella gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Othello back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. And Andrew Stewards, I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merch in Dice 2. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 15erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named 15erella. 15erella had 7 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eliza, Eloise, and Nina. All 7 of them made 15erella do all the chores. "Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all," said 15, Fiona to Nina all together. One day, the king of Quintacumbleham's messengers arrived and said, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Quintacumbleham is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Quintacumbling." But 15erella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. They then argue over who will marry Prince Quintacumbling. Later, 15erella is so sad doing chores about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Quintacumbling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother asks 15erella what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, 15erella?" 15erella responds in whimper, "I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Quintacumbling, but I have lots of chores to be done." 15erella's fairy godmother said, "I can help with a bit of magic." She chants the magic words, "Quintadentity, Quintadentity, Quindu," and waves her magic wand. Because of that, 15erella's chores are done, but her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, "15erella, go fetch me a pumpkin." Luckily, 15erella has 15 pumpkins. 15erella's fairy godmother chants the magic words, "Quintadentity, Quintadentity, Quindu," again, and waves her magic wand again to turn the 15 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 30 strong horses. And then 15erella is ripped clothes into a gown and crown. 15erella said, I've never seen such a quintuple-tastic gown. And get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? And Cinderella's fairy godmother said, well, you can't. But have fun, Cinderella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Quintuppling was wondering who he should marry. Fiona to Nina say all together, he's walking towards me! But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Prince Quintuppling then asks, may I have this dance? Cinderella responds, I would be delighted. Cinderella and Prince Quintuppling danced happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Quintuppling was really worried that he might never see Cinderella again, so he traveled all around Quintupplingham to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. By the time he arrives, he knocks on the door of the home where Cinderella and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of Cinderella, Prince Quintuppling finds Fiona to Nina. He then said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Fiona is first, but her foot is too big. Isabella is next, but her foot is too small. The rest are the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Quintuppling notices Cinderella's sweet singing. The glass slipper fits! Cinderella gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Quintuppling back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. And if you want to see some sequels, tell your friends about it. And maybe I can do it. A big tradition. Take care. Bye.